What's up guys, Reaper of the Mist here, and in today's video we are doing What If Naruto was Madara's grandson. Now in this What If, we're going to start things just a bit differently. One, I tend to try and do this a lot with my What Ifs because I've never been a fan of Jinchuriki, because they just depend on their tailed beast's power, and that just really annoys me. I'd like for them to make their own techniques. Kind of like Gara, he didn't really depend on his tailed beast too much. He kind of acted alone. Granted, if he did actually tap into the tailed beast's power or try and build a relationship with it, maybe he wouldn't have got captured by the Akatsuki, so that entire arc would have been useless. But hey, I digress. So, for this, I'm going to say that Minato and Kushina aren't Naruto's parents. I'm going to say that Madara survived, found an Uchiha, had a child, and that child was kept who his father was secret, fell in love with Uzumaki, had Naruto, and both of them died in the Nine Tails attack. So let's get into Naruto's childhood. From an early age, he was kind of ostracised, kind of like in canon, but... Oh yeah, should mention, the 4th Hokage and Kushina had a child. Men must seal the Nine Tails in him, so Naruto is not a Jinchuriki. Anyway, I digress. From a very young age, he was quite ostracised because he was an Uchiha, and there's still some kind of ill blood there between the Nine Tails attack and then, which I don't really know why, to be honest, considering that the Uchihas did help the civilians from orders by Hiruzen, which the former 3rd Hokage, who had no authority, what's the word I'm looking for here? Accepted? Allowed, that's it, allowed. He gave him permission to do something when he'd already done it when he wasn't the Hokage anymore, which, yeah, he shouldn't have done that. And even at that, Danzo tried to kill him many times. He knew it and let him get away with it. So there's just so much stupidity there. I mean, sure, he's your old teammate, but if Sasuke tried to... Oh, who am I kidding? He'd probably beg him to come back to the village again. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, so Naruto is approached by an old man, and he asks who he is. Now, I'm trying to do my what ifs differently and actually talk like a narrator, instead of just saying, oh, he talks to him, he does that, he decides this, or yada 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 yada. Because I've been watching a lot of Anime King recently, and I really like how he does his what ifs, and yeah, I'm going to try and go for that sort of Anime King thing and go into detail on it, make the parts longer. I want to see at least 2 parts before I get into the main series. And then, yeah, but I digress. I want to get into like the main part where the show begins in canon around part 4, so I digress. I'm saying that a lot. Anyway, so, who are you? Naruto asks, and he says, I am your grandfather. The old man says in a graspy tone, my grandfather? Naruto asks in a confused tone. Yes. It took me some time to find you, my grandson, after what happened to my son and his wife. The old man gestures for him to follow him, and Naruto follows into his home. I want to take you away from this village, the old man says in a graspy tone. But this is my home, Naruto says. Wake up to reality. Nothing ever goes as planned in this accursed world. Better to realize that now than get disappointed in the future, the old man says. Naruto Naruto's eyes go white and he's like, "Jeez, talk about depressing." As Naruto cuts him off midway through his speech, look, but I have family here. I have the rest of the clan. Madara looks at him and says, "The clan ostracizes you. The clan that ignores you. The clan that pays you no mind, and the village that ostracizes you. The village that pushes you away and hates you. You truly do have a lovely home," Madara says. The old man says in a sarcastic tone. Naruto asks, "But if I do go with you, will I be able to come back one day?" "Yes," the old man says in a quiet tone. Naruto accepts and Madara creates a clone of him. "Whoa," Naruto says in astonishment. Oh yeah, I should mention Naruto is about 3 at this point, so Uchiha Massacre won't happen for another 4 years. So yeah, Uchiha Massacre won't happen for another 4 years. White Zetsu, a creature comes out of the floor. This is Zetsu," the old man says in a graspy tone, as evidence shown by his very old age. Naruto looks at him with astonishment, and White Zetsu quickly attaches himself to the child and talks in a kiddie tone, very reminiscent of Toby. Now, I'm not going to try and mimic a lot of the people, but I'll try my best. For me, it's easy to do an old Madara because my voice is just naturally as groggy as his was at that point in his life. So yeah, I can't really do a younger Madara, but I can definitely do an older Madara. I digress. I digress. For the next few years, Naruto was trained very, I don't want to say brutally, but it definitely shows that the training is strong. For the first year, Naruto does basic workouts comprising of 100 press ups, sit ups, just general stuff. He starts doing the workouts for 6 months and then does it with weights. Then he learns chakra control and then basic studies. As Naruto sits with his grandfather and hears stories about his youth and who he actually was when he said he was Madara Uchiha, Naruto was shocked that he was the grandson of Madara Uchiha. He loves hearing the stories about his grandfather and his parents. Granted, he never knew much about his mother, but he still enjoyed it nonetheless. Naruto loved hearing stories about Madara in his youth and how he wanted to protect his younger brother. Naruto and Madara start to do light training. Of course, because of Madara's old age, it did take him time to even stand up, let alone live. When they found out what Obito or Toby was going to do to the village where he knew his daughter-in-law and son were, he quickly ordered Zetsu to keep an eye on his grandson. Over the years, Madara quickly was able to find a way to get out of his hideout, and then he quickly found Naruto and brought him in. He and Naruto gained a nice relationship over the years, Madara telling him stories about the war and Hashirama. But Naruto and his grandfather disagreed on many regards, one of which was the Senju, or to be more accurate, Hashirama. Madara hated Hashirama, but Naruto just saw that he tried to help, and that if maybe Madara hadn't listened to his brother, Hashirama would have healed him and saved his life. Madara looks back at that moment with sadness, knowing that the boy was probably right. Enough of this subject, Madara says in a graspy and monotone tone, as he tells Naruto to go study. Naruto goes to his room and studies, learning basic history and aerodynamics. Naruto was inspired that he and his grandfather and his friend built a village together, so he had a dream to make a village and turn it into a great nation. Naruto would pursue this dream and would learn construction. And he would want to build his own village. As the years go on, he learned more about construction and the laws and basics in running a village. He spoke to Madara about this, and Madara gained a slight smile, knowing that he has imparted the wisdom of the joy of building his own village, although he did warn him to do it cautiously. He didn't want his grandson to be pushed out like he was from not only the village but his own clan. Naruto took the wisdom of his grandfather to heart. Over the last 2 years since he got here, Naruto is now 5. He may have the skill and finesse and intelligence of... He's got the intelligence of a high tuning, but despite his skill and finesse, he still lacks the strength. Madara gave him Hashirama cells, but he did it in his way. Madara knew about the wood style user in Konoha in the Onbu. When he saw this supposed wood style user, he scoffed. Naruto was also there because he wanted to check in on the village, and they saw the man. Flashback. As Madara and Naruto approached the village, they looked around, and Naruto was a bit surprised that nothing has really changed in these 2 years. He was expecting the old Hokage to have at least passed down the hat, considering that he only came in as Hokage again after the fourth's death, and it had been at least 5 years since then. As they notice a man training in wood style, Madara sees this and scoffs, as Naruto asks what was wrong, as Madara tells him to look at the wood style user and says that true wood style is controlled by thick branches of wood and not those pathetic beams Sure, they may be solid, but ultimately they are weak. For a wood style user, his use of it is pathetic. Over the years, Madara has seen a few wood style users, not only Hashirama but others. True, Hashirama was in a class far beyond them when it came to the wood style, but even at that, this wood style user was nothing in comparison. It was clear that it was unnatural for him, and whoever gave him the cells was a novice in working with Hashirama cells or basics experimentation with such a thing. He scoffs at it and explains this to Naruto as Naruto looks closely and remembers the stories that his grandfather told him about Hashirama, and he begins to slowly grow distaste for the village. It'd been a year since then, and Naruto had been training in ninjutsu and taijutsu, and especially genjutsu. Over the years, he had awakened his one Tomoe and two Tomoe Sharingan, and he is quickly trying to achieve the three Tomoe. Naruto asks his grandfather if he had any distaste to the village. I wield no distaste for the village, Madara says in a graspy tone. Naruto questions this, but why, grandfather? They threw you out, they abandoned you, they said you were mad, they accused you of just being a selfish brother who stole your brother's eyes. Madara has a solemn look. Yes, they may have done that, but that wasn't the clan. That was the old generation. This new generation has done nothing wrong. Sure, they are descendants of the ones that betrayed me, but I will not hate a descendant of those traitors. If it were someone like Hashirama, perhaps before I met you, my grandson, I would have hated her. Her? Naruto asks in a questionable tone. Yes. Hashirama has had his own child, and that child in turn had two children. The boy, the younger brother of the woman, died during the Third Great Shinobi War. I believe that's when he died. As for the woman, her younger brother died, as I said, and so did her lover. Both of them had Hashirama's necklace, and she believed it to be cursed. I do hold distaste for her because she is weak. Losing a sibling is not an easy thing. I know more about that than anyone. I lost all four of mine. And I even lost my wife. But even I did not fall into a depression like she did. She is a worthless gambler who evades debts. It's pathetic. If Hashirama were here, he would probably try and help her. It's a lost cause. The only thing that can help her is a show of power, or pain, or true pain, futile and futility. She does not know the true way of pain. Naruto asks his grandfather in a questionable tone, but grandfather, couldn't you help her? You truly have a righteous heart, my grandson, but I am her grandfather's worst enemy as far as she is concerned. If I came to her, she would most definitely kill me, and in my weakened state, I don't have a doubt in my mind that she would succeed. If you... Naruto jumps in and says, well, I'll defend you, grandfather. Madara smiles at him. If you did, she could accidentally kill you too. And I would not have the power to make her pay for killing my grandson. Naruto laughs and says, "You're gonna live forever, grandfather." Madara rubs Naruto's head and tells him to go off. Over the years, Naruto's long black hair has grown out quite a bit. As he runs along, and Madara gets a flashback of a younger him when he was young, a few years after he and Hashirama weren't friends, when he was growing his hair out. As Zetsu comes out of the ground, "Zetsu, have you any information on that man?" "No, there's no information on Obito Uchiha. It seems that he's very good at keeping his secret." "And what of you, Black Zetsu?" "There's nothing on him as of yet." "You know, he will have to see you die at one point or another," White Zetsu says. Yes, I have without a doubt in my mind. And when that happens, you know what to do, don't you?" "Yes, we'll implant your original eyes in him." "Yes, Zetsu. I want you to look over him after my death. I have without a doubt in my mind that you will able to do that. You are the best spy." Azetsu nods in agreement. "My grandson, Naruto Uchiha, person who will surpass even I and Hashirama." But that's it for this part. If you liked it, hit the like button. Give me some points on how I did this. Usually I kind of tell it as a story and I don't really go into what they actually say. But yeah, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and please leave a comment. I love hearing them, and if you liked it, yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace out, guys.